What's the time for now, Wade? News!
Oh!
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh!
Hello, Chad. How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
You too. Now, it's a big week in news, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Let's get to it.
All right. The new Robin Hood movie, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Russell Crowe, as you all know, because the guy has just talked about it for 20 minutes, cost $237 million to make. How could a movie be so expensive, you ask? TheWrap.com provides an itemized budget breakdown of the film to show exactly where the money goes. Here are some of the notable expenses. Here we go, notable expenses. Director and staff, $14 million. Talent, $36 million. Visual effects, $12 million. Arrows, $3 million. Jergens, tunics, leggings, and pointy hats, $2 million. Russell Crowe Wrangler, $5 million. Historical accuracy research, $700. That's a lot of money. I hope the movie is good, but if it's not, as the guys say it's not, at least they tried. You know it's true. Everything they do it for you. They do it for you.
Oh, dear. Wow. 237 million, that's pushing up to Avatar territory. And it's just not on the screen here. I mean, there are castles, and they built their villages, and there are lots of extras and tunics and, you know, a big battle scene. But maybe it's because they just didn't go to the R-rated lengths they needed to make those battles feel real. It just doesn't feel credible.
First of all, the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So already you're sort of, you're down a screening per day.
They always knew this. When Ridley Scott floated the idea of releasing this in 3D, that was already a sign that they knew they needed something.
Right.
So.
All right, Chad, now we're angry all over again.
Yeah,
all right,
thank you.
next news story.
The Cannes Film Festival opens this week. There are many, many movies screening there. Most of them with names too hard to pronounce, so I'm not even going to try. But I did put some of the titles into Babelfish, and here are the translations. Men of the Gods by Xavier Beauvoir, Outlaw by Rashid Boukareb, and A Man Who Shouts by Mahamat Saleh Haroum. I'm not sure those are totally accurate. But anyway, as a shout out to our French friends, I also put some of the English titles into Babelfish, translated them into French, and back into English. So festival goers at Cannes will not be seeing Woody Allen's You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger, but Woody Allen's You Will Meet a Large Dark Foreigner. They will not see Doug Liman's Fair Game. They will see Doug Liman's Play Right. Lastly, they will not be seeing Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, but a weird movie called On the Avenue of the Richness Never Dies. I think Babelfish really dropped the ball on that last one.
Before we start, I have to say, Wall Street 2, I can't imagine that being good. I just can't. I don't get it.
Shia LaBeouf.
Well, it's just, you know
If
what?
we put that into Babelfish, it would be Shia the Beef.
That is true.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Oliver Stone is just another person now. He's just a big, fat, happy capitalist who really, what does he have to say about America nowadays? He's got nothing to say. Now, Chad comes up with some funny names, but the funniest name is one that is so unpronounceable that only Wade Major can pronounce it. Now, this guy's name...
Don't bet on it.
This guy's name, by the way, this is a real director who's kind of world-renowned. His name is so complicated that his friends call him Joe. Go,
That's
Wade, what is
true.
it? Look into the camera, tell us what it is.
Apachatpong Wirasikathul.
Now,
Nice.
now, it seems like a joke, but that's actually like kind of a world-renowned director.
It is, and he's known as Joe. Honestly, you go to festivals, and everyone just calls him Joe.
Cannes Film Festival 2010 doesn't mean anything anymore. Cannes.
Absolutely. Look, I'm tired of these people who say, "Oh, Cannes just doesn't mean anything anymore." You and I, we've been to Cannes. It's the greatest party on earth, isn't it?
You know what? Can I say something? Cannes I don't care what camera you use. I'm going to say it anyway. Oh, I'll say this one. Oh, he says that one. Cannes is awesome. This is what Cannes is like. You wake up at 8 in the morning on the, you do that, and then when I turn, oh, I got that one too. Okay. Okay, this is what Cannes is like. You wake up in the south of France at 7:30 in the morning. You stumble out of bed, you go to the Palais, you see films all day long, and then by 5 o'clock, you decide which yacht party you're going to go to. We get to hang out with celebrities and eat lobster. You stay out all night and get drunk, except for Wade. And then you go to sleep at 2 in the morning, sleep for 5 hours, and do it all over again the next day.
There is nothing like coming back from an all-night party and finding that bakery that's just opening at 4 a.m. so they can start baking stuff, and you get their hot croissants right out of the oven before anyone else has had a shot at them. It's great. But anyway,
that's what they call prostitutes in the south of France now, hot croissants.
Oh, yeah.
Wade, I had no idea. Good for you, Wade.
There you go.
Dad, what else you got? Anything else?
I do. There's more news on the Planet of the Apes prequel front.
Oh, dear.
The movie is going to be titled Rise of the Apes, and it's set to premiere June 24th, 2011. It'll be directed by Rupert Wyatt, and the most shocking of all information to come out, all the apes will be CGM. That's right, computer-generated monkeys. Perhaps the movie should be called Apetar. Seriously though, CG apes, lame.
Yeah.
In protest to this bad decision, I will now put on an ape mask and conclude the rest of this segment as an ape, in solidarity with the real-life apes all over the world.
Okay.
So just cut away from me for a bit, and I'll put on the mask.
Well, you gotta look at the little ape had a gun.
That is definitely a Corey special, right, Corey? This is Corey Levin, everybody. Follow him on Twitter.
I honestly.
Look at the ape with his mouth open.
Corey. Corey. That is unbelievably funny. We don't see these things before the show, so they come out of the blue at us. I didn't even know what to expect there.
The ape had a gun. Anyway,
and he's holding the earth.
Holding the earth like Atlas. This movie's going to be terrible. It's funny because you know what's so curious about this film is that its premiere date is next June. They're going to get going. Not only do they have to get going, if
is it even written?
If the premiere date is next June, right?
Yeah.
They must be much farther along than they're letting on. Because if this is a big movie with lots of CGI effects, there's no way you can do that in just one calendar year.
No, you need at least 18 months to do movies that have a lot of CG in them. And that means 18 months making it, not writing it. If they don't have a script, there's no way they're making June.
No, so I'm saying, like, they announce this thing as if, like, oh, look, it just happened. It's fantastic.
No.
This thing is farther down the road than we think.
Unless it's going to be one of these train wrecks where they have a script, but they're going to rewrite it while they go through the pre-production process, and hopefully in a couple of 3 months they'll have some semblance of something they want to shoot, and they just think that it doesn't matter.
Well, bottom line, it's CGI. Who cares? It's dead.
Exactly.
I mean, we've talked about this last week. They really, when we were kids, it was a big deal. Planet of the Apes was a big deal, and they sold action figures and Fords and all sorts of stuff. And this new generation is not going to latch on because of the horrible first one that Burton did, and now this one. I mean, forget it. This seems like just ridiculous.
It's not going to work. It's
killed the franchise.
They are going to kill the franchise, and it's sad because there's still mileage there to reinvent it and to do something really interesting with it, but they're just going about it all wrong.
Shoot it in 3D.
I'm sure it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be 3D.
You know what? It depends on how close this script is to Caesar. Now, Caesar was a script that Fox had wanted to develop for years,
but it's CGI,
and they liked it.
But it's CGI.
But Caesar goes back to a couple years ago.
It's not going to be Caesar.
And that script was supposed to be great.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure how much this new film has to do with Caesar.
Look what they did to Nottingham.
Huh?
Look what they did to Nottingham.
They turned it into Maximus Hood. Gladiator meets Robin Hood. Maximus Hood. All right, Chad. Anything else? Chad? Chad? What?
Oh, there we go.
See you next week, you damn dirty critics.
I always wondered what Chad looked like underneath that mask, and now I know.
Yeah.
He looks like that. Unbelievable. All right, Chad, thank you very much. Fantastic work as usual.